They say the past can't be rewritten, but in Acamia everything is rewritten, even the people. Zeno Vale built his empire from shadows and broken circuits, a genius so powerful the city bends to his code. But what no one knew was that inside his flawless system there was a ghost, not a spirit, not a glitch, a woman, one he'd erased but couldn't forget. And tonight, she finally remembers him. In a city where truth is encrypted and memories can be deleted like files, love has become the most dangerous virus of all. This is the part of the story where perfection begins to break. Welcome to Episode 2, Shadows Beneath the Code. I tried to ignore it. The letter, the memories, the name, Aira. But some things don't fade, no matter how much you try to bury them. They whisper in the corners of your mind, waiting for the silence to fall. After that message, do you remember the night of the fire? I couldn't focus. Every sound, every light flicker felt like a signal, like something or someone was trying to wake me up. 3 nights later, I decided to go to Vale Tower, the heart of his empire, a glass monument piercing the smog-filled sky, cold, gleaming and unreachable. Security at the front desk looked at me like I didn't belong. They were right, I didn't. But I had something they didn't: obsession. Late that night, I found a way in, through the old subway tunnels that ran beneath the city. The tunnels were silent, filled with the ghosts of old systems and broken circuits. I followed a maintenance map I'd found online until I reached a sealed door marked Restricted Access V Project. The metal was cold. My reflection stared back at me, pale and uncertain. And yet, the moment I touched the door, it clicked open. No security, no alarms, almost like it had been waiting for me. Inside, the air was stale. Rows of dark monitors stretched across the room like eyes, and faint blue lights blinked in rhythm. I wiped the dust off one of the screens, and it flickered to life. And there, on that glowing surface, was me. Not a reflection, a recording. The timestamp read, 10 years ago. My heart started racing. I watched as the woman on screen, my face, my voice, worked beside Zeno in a lab that looked nothing like this one. She moved with precision, confidence, exhaustion, and then he appeared beside her, younger, smiling for once. Zeno, on screen. Aira, if this works, we change everything. That name again. Aira. The video glitched, and lines of code scrolled across the screen. Memory reconstruction test narrow 7. Under it was a note, Subject A, Aira Vale, neural copy in progress. I felt my knees weaken, my hands shook, because at that moment, I understood what the letter meant. I wasn't me, or maybe I wasn't just me. The name Aira Vale wasn't a stranger's, it was mine. Zeno hadn't just built machines, he had built people, or the echoes of them. And somehow, I was one of them. I searched the system, desperate for answers. File after file, page after page, all connected to a project called Aira. Not just artificial intelligence, but a consciousness experiment. It wasn't about creating emotion, it was about recreating memories. Zeno had been testing something far more dangerous, a way to upload the human mind, to store memory, thought, and emotion in code. I found another file, one that wasn't supposed to exist. It was encrypted, but the name on it froze me. Rebirth Protocol. Before I could open it, a nearby monitor buzzed to life. The feed was live, from inside the penthouse at the top of the tower. And there he was, Zeno Vale, older, harder, a shadow of the man I once knew. He was staring out at the city, the skyline reflecting in his eyes like shards of glass. Then, without turning, he spoke. I see you, Aira. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. It felt like he was looking straight through the screen, straight into me. You found the files, didn't you? His tone wasn't angry. It wasn't even surprising. He sounded relieved. "Zeno, you were never supposed to wake up, but maybe it's time." The feed was cut out. The room went dark. Only the faint hum of the servers remained, steady, almost like a heartbeat. That night, I walked back through the tunnels, shaking. I couldn't tell if I was human anymore. I could feel my heartbeat, but I wasn't sure if it was mine. Every question I asked led to more confusion. If I was a copy, what happened to the real Aira Vale? Was she still alive? Was she the one who died in the fire? The next morning, I searched the city archives. Buried in an old newspaper from 10 years ago, I found the headline: "Lab explosion kills 2 researchers, 1 unidentified." The article said the project was led by Dr. Zeno Vale and Dr. Aira Vale, co-founders of Aira Systems. Husband and wife. My stomach twisted. He hadn't just built me from memory. He had built me from love. That's when I realized the version of me that lived in Lowtown wasn't real. It was a reconstruction. A mind grown from the fragments he could salvage. He had planted me in the city, given me a new identity, hoping I'd never remember who I once was. But then, why send the letter? Why make me remember? Maybe because he couldn't carry it anymore. The guilt, the loneliness, the truth that the woman he loved was gone and the one he rebuilt didn't know him. That night I sat by my window, watching the city lights flicker like dying stars. And for the first time, I didn't feel human. I felt like a signal, like a code that had learned to dream. Somewhere deep inside me, something had changed. I could sense the networks beneath the city, the pulse of data, the flow of electricity. It was like I was connected to everything, like the city itself was breathing through me. And then, a message appeared on my terminal again, the same faint text. "Aira, it's time to come home." It was him. Zeno Vale wasn't hiding. He was waiting for me to remember who I truly was, waiting for me to find my way back to where it all began. I didn't know what would happen when I saw him again, but I knew one thing. Whatever he created, whatever I'd become, it wasn't finished yet. Because beneath the code, beneath the wires and circuits, something human was still alive. Something that refused to die, even when everything else did. And maybe that's what love really is. Not a heartbeat, not a body, just a pattern that refuses to fade. Next came Rebirth Protocol.